Now, funds were also low, Peter, when you returned from America during the early part of the war. Unfit for the services, you joined the wartime entertainment group, ENSA. And on tour, you met and married the love of your life, the former Cochrane young lady, Helen Beck. She was a great encouragement to you in all you did, and you were idyllically happy. Sadly, Helen died in 1971. Here you are, hand-painting silk scarves for her, a talent that you still have, as we see here, and more of your paintings, including your work in watercolours. 1951 sees your debut on the small screen, your great success in plays and in the serialised Pride and Prejudice. Your award-winning performance comes in the television version of George Orwell's 1984.
Rats were caught in the sewers a week ago. Now they're starving.
Do it to Julia. Do it to Julia. Not me. Julia. I don't care what you do to her. It's Julia. Julia, not me. Not me.
Well, the television version of The Winslow Boy brings another memorable Cushing performance.
It's certainly an occasion I personally will never forget.
And to tell us more, that fine actress, Gwen Watford.
Darling Gordon without the other play.
Yes.
How lovely.
Gwen, tell us what was so memorable about that 1958 production.
Because it gave me my start and led on to a television award. What happened was that the leading actress who was cast opposite Peter to play Catherine Winslow was taken ill just before rehearsals. And as luck would have it, Peter had seen me in The Time and the Conways just 3 or 4 days beforehand and made a note of my name. And when the director asked him who he wanted to replace this actress, he said, "This is the one. This is the one." And I'm so grateful, Peter, to have this chance, after 34 years later, to say how very grateful I am and that I've never forgotten.
Bless your heart.
Thank you very much. In 1957, you played the title role in The Curse of Frankenstein. That film was the start of a friendship with a fellow actor which spans 27 films. Here is your first meeting. Next, the party really gets his teeth into Dracula. Well, he has to be in New York tonight, not visiting his dentist, but filming. It's your good friend, Christopher Lee.
You know, you've always been, as I've told you many times, a delight and a despair to me in terms of us acting together. A delight because it's wonderful to work with such a great professional, so dedicated to his work and to his craft. And a despair because you are the only actor who can read the Times, drink his whiskey and soda, light his pipe, and deliver his dialogue all at the same time. Can I wish you, my dear fellow, the very happiest of evenings from my heart. God bless you. Step out.
Thank you, Christopher Lee. Well, your continuing performances in the Hammer horror films attract some talented co-stars, as we see here in The Satanic Rites of Dracula.
Oh, Professor Julian Keeley.
You know him?
I've met him. He's been here once or twice. But you know him, Grandfather. You know him very well.
Is that true, sir?
Yes, I know him.
What is it you're working on? Better not, Joe. He'll sound me so good.
Julian! Help me, Lorimer.
Julian!
These notes, they refer to a new strain of Bacillus pestis. Bubonic plague!
And from Miss Atomic Rights, they are here, the lovely Freddie Jones. And the even lovelier Joanna. Now, Freddie, you also appeared in a little number called Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, with Peter as the evil baron.
That's right, yes, yes. There was a brutally difficult, very heavy scene, I recall, where the whole of humanity was in jeopardy, and I had to plead on its cause. We rehearsed the scene, I remember, in the late afternoon, and at 5:30 it was a wrap, and so we were all allowed to go home. I crept into my costume at dawn the next morning, drifted towards makeup where they tried to convince me I was still alive, and then, to my horror and dismay, was told that we were required on stage at 8:30 a.m., a grey morning, and said, to my total disbelief, we rehearsed it very well last night, let's shoot it. And so, at 8:33, maybe in 8:34, I saved the entire human race from the devilish Peter Cushing. And that was the horror that we lived through.
And Joanna, what is your memory of Peter?
Well, the first thing that struck me about you, Peter, was your incredible kindness.
Yeah.
Not only to little supporting actresses like me, but to everybody on that set, all the makeup artists and the chippies and the sparks and the T-boys and the runners. You were unfailingly kind and courteous. And so I think that on behalf of all the film people who actually can't be here tonight, I'd like to say how much your work is appreciated, how much your friendship is treasured, and how much you're loved.
Thank you, Joanna Lumley and Freddie Jones.
It's making films is awfully sweet that you said, darling, but it's such a no man is an island. You've got to have everyone to be able to do these things, and you all gave so much as well. Bless you.
Now, Peter, I know that you've another reason for enjoying your work at Hammer, because it was there you got your first crack at playing Sherlock Holmes with Andre Morell as Dr. Watson. You also played the great detective in a BBC series with dear old Nigel Stock as Watson. Your third Dr. Watson, another distinguished actor, is seen with you here.
Watson, would you be prepared to come with me to Buckinghamshire?
Of course. I should be delighted.
I'm lost without my boss. You are my only friend, Watson. You have such a grand gift of silence.
Well, Watson is travelling in North America right now, and we tracked him down to Alberta, Canada, where he's enjoying some mountain air with his family. Sir John Mills.
I don't know what to say about you, Peter. You're a wonderful actor. I think rather underrated. I think you're one of the best actors I've ever worked with in my life, and certainly the most generous. We hope you have a wonderful evening. I'm sure you will. You'll be surrounded by people who admire you and love you, and I wish we could be there to be part of it. And I know somebody who'll be enjoying every single second of it, and that's Helen. Well, I love you, Peter. Take care and have a good time. Good night.
Thank you, John Mills. In 1989, you receive official recognition with the award of an OBE. There you are, outside the palace gates. And Peter, no look back on half a century of achievement will be complete without mention of a television play 35 years ago in which your co-star was also the author. He played the French Marshal Pétain, and you were his Prime Minister.
God, yes.
You may not remember me after all this time. None of us has got any younger. My name is Grosvenor.
You call him a man for all seasons, flown in from Paris, Peter Ustinov.
Oh, you dear man, to come. Bless your heart.
Of course, long time, no, all that, you know.
A lot of us remember, Peter, the Dudley and Maurice Grosvenor thing you did. What is the relevance here?
What's he saying?
Well, he said it right, anyway.
Oh, yeah,
We had that correspondence, which you very kindly mentioned in your book.
Yes, it was cut, though, by so much.
Oh, well,
Because
thank goodness.
it made the whole book if we'd left it in.
Yeah,
But
well,
it was lovely.
But it's lovely to have a splendid co-author
Bless
like
your
you.
dear heart.
I certainly have missed you a lot. And although I'm not really very keen on playing small parts, I'm terribly flattered by playing a very small part in the life of a man who is not only the kindest, the nicest, but also the most intelligent and most talented, and certainly by far the sanest of all the mad professors.
Thank you very much indeed. Peter Cushing, OBE, this is your life.